Hello, everyone. This is PC0813 coming to you guys with another Charts and Beers from the Pro Traders Lounge. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. It's been nice and volatile, just the way us traders like it. I personally am a little under the weather. I've been fighting off a bug all week. So if you guys hear me coughing, sniffling, whatever, I apologize. But we got some great information to go over. In regards to what has happened and what we think is going to happen. So without any further ado, I will go ahead and pass it off to my man When Sailing.
Hello, beautiful people. How's everyone doing? Let us know, please, on YouTube if the sound is clear and you can see us. And then we will kick it off. We had a really great and crazy Pro Traders launch. A lot of setups shared, and they played out amazingly. We nailed a lot of lows and a really good high inside the launch, and also some really good scalps in between. So for everyone here new, let us know how you're feeling today and if you can hear us. And if everything is good, I will start right over. Sound is good. Awesome. Think we have Netzel's screen up. If you can switch that over to mine, I will kick it off right away. And wonderful. Thanks a lot. Sound is good. And let's kick it off, guys. Here we are on the daily time frame. We got a really nice pump. You remember here we got a lot of sells going into these lows mentioned in the launch, and since then we got a really nice rotation to the upside. We caught also the low here with a waves cluster sitting around this area, and we got a really nice backtest of the waves cluster and went our way all the way up to those highs here. What happened then when we zoom in a little bit on the lower time frame, just to be sure where we are and Bitcoin action, price action went here. We got this little channel here, got perfectly backtested now over the last 3 days, broke out of it again. And where did we go to? For sure, up to our next channel. You can see here, very well respected channel. Inside the launch, we longed the low here. Then we shorted the high of the midpoint here to the downside. And then we took also some crazy nice longs over the last few days around these lows. So we are basically currently back inside the channel. We got a nice deviation out of it, but so far we're still struggling with the channel resistance. And as we are up here, we got this nice move here being a short squeeze. I can go over later, but we could really nicely see how Bitcoin was basically getting all people wanted to short it at those highs, and we were squeezing them on very low volume, but shorts continued to come in. So we had a really nice pump to the upside over the last few days and a perfect rejection. So let me see here more locally where we are and how we played it inside the launch. So really important at the lows here. Let me pull up the reversal levels from a few days ago when we had a daily live session inside the launch. We are having about 14 sessions for everyone that is new here, live every day, at least 2 or 3 times with our traders inside the launch, where we go over live price actions, also take paper trades. Remember, again, we're doing paper trades here with everyone. And while we were live during New York Open, we had a really good price action going on. We went into the daily open here, into this low, and we were telling our members this is a very good opportunity for a scalp long, and we took that scalp long live in the session and moved it up for, what was it at the end? A nice 4% move, so 3.9% move from the long scalp we took here. And exactly here at the highs, we informed our members inside the launch that we are taking profit. So first take profit was here on the value area low once we reclaimed it and hit for the POC of this local range. And then the second take profit was mentioned inside the launch. So basically here mentioning to the members, again, TP1 hit here at the POC of this little value area. And then we are going a little bit later, TP2 in the books. Let me see if I can find it, but at the exact high also informed our members that we are taking take profit 2 here, and you can see from where it went, like exactly at the high where we took take profit, we had a really nice downturn, and a lot of members managed actually to catch the move with us. So really happy to see that we got some profit of members inside the launch trading with us on those live sessions. Really happy about it. So let's see where we are right now. We're still at highs. We got another nice price action today, and also inside the launch mentioned to our members that we got a scalp opportunity around this area. Like I'll show you where and what it is. Basically, we got a waves cluster earlier today. If we zoom in here on the lower time frame and how it looks like inside the launch, basically we have our pro traders channels, dedicated channels. You can see here this morning giving out to our members. We got a nice waves cluster up here at 24,300 area, basically an area where sellers got aggressive, and I wanted to see a reaction here. I'll be watching it for a reaction and the potential scalp short if we get some aggressive longs. So what's happened here locally, we went into the waves cluster and got a really nice move to the downside at 2.1% short here at the cluster. Now, if we claim the cluster, gave us a really nice SR zone. So far, still looking for a little bit higher to get into a potential short if we have the opportunity with some aggressive longs coming in and building some bearish CVD. So if we look here, we had some days now that we've been front running all the previous VWAP closes. You know that I'm always trading VWAP closes with our traders inside the launch and how they are well respected. But the last few days, we've been front running them. So good sign for price action. But also here today, I still would like to tap this VWAP close a little bit higher up to get into a short scalp here, especially because we are at highs. We will not open up along here at those highs for sure. Not maybe scalp trades if we get some aggressive moves with aggressive shorts to the downside, but overall looking for shorts unless we reclaim the high. And also you have to remember we are up high here. We got some decent amount of longs into this local high here, and some other factors giving us a really nice downturn. Maybe Netza will go over that later, but at those highs, we want to take the high probability trades only, and those are shorts unless we reclaim the high for sure. So always be aware of that and make sure that we could squeeze on if we check order flow, if we check the sells and buys that are coming in, how are they looking? So really important. Again, here, for example, on the whole way up, we could see shorts coming in aggressive, shorts coming in aggressive, shorts coming in aggressive, and always getting squeezed afterwards. So really nice short squeeze on the way up. And let's see what happens here more locally. We're still monitoring CVD. Here on the higher time frame, so far it's flatlining, it's going sideways, a price is going up. And if we get back, we range here for a bit, for example, and CVD rises with it, we create some bearish CVD dips here on the higher time frame. That would be the best opportunity to enter a scalp short or a potential day short from up here. We can also see quickly here on speed of waves, how did it go? This one was the alert. Got some aggressive, sorry for the zooming. We got some aggressive longs here. You can see aggressive longs in the exact high here and way more longs than shorts. So what are we doing with those longs? We are taking them out, and we got this nice 2% reversal here locally. And then what happened at the lows? Similar, but in the other direction, we got negative delta and a lot of shorts here in the low, pushing us again towards the upside. So we will be monitoring order flow live inside the pro launch with our traders to make sure we catch small or bigger moves. And if we're lucky here during this session, we could also get some aggression over the next few minutes here with you. Would really love to get a nice trade. You can also see it here again on Bybit. Really nice move up, aggressive longs here into the level. for sure here on Bybit way earlier than on Binance, because on Bybit traders, we have a lot of newer traders, and all those newer traders are getting aggressive way too early or way too late. So really important to always compare both exchanges or multiple pairs in order to have a full and complete picture of what the market is doing, because one exchange is never enough to give you enough information of the overall market. So let's see what happens here locally. We are still grinding our way up, but again, we have the VWAP close here a little bit higher. Let me see if we tapped it on Bybit. Here we did also not yet tap it, but if we get the opportunity here, we will monitor it live during this session. Could very well happen, and we could prepare for a scalp short if we get aggressive longs into this level. So be aware of it here at 24,580. Let me see how the level looks on Atas. It's always a little bit different. 24,587. Not all too bad. Works really nice. So let's monitor that for a potential scalp. Again, remember, if we're talking scalp trades, we're always taking profit quickly after 1% move, moving stop loss to entry, and saving the trade and having the rest run. So really important to be on the safe side with scalping and getting in quickly, getting out quickly, and have potential runners that you can, just get some profits over the higher time frame from and see where it goes. Let's see, we're still here at the value area low, and if we would get in here, get back acceptance in yesterday's value area, we could tap the point of control together here with the VWAP close and scalp a decent short here with clearing validation of the highs here. So that's it from my side for now. I will hand it over to Netzo Kronos for his take on Bitcoin. And if we get some price action, I will jump right in with you here. And thanks again for watching so far. If you enjoyed, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot.
Nice, Mike. Nice, Mikael. I love it. Like always. Good job. Let me continue now. Like this week was really hectic, really massive moves, really nice opportunities. I can go quickly over through what we were looking at. Bitcoin went down, of course, we all know that, and then instantly reversed. I know a lot of people also were waiting for lower. Me, honestly, I was waiting for a few $100s lower for the level to hit. But as I mentioned to all the members, like levels, okay, you can have levels, but if you don't see anything smart or something interesting on order flow, I mean, even that level, you should not trade it if you do not have order flow, at least some confluence. And at that time, once that SFP of this smaller low happened, we were eyeballing Binance activity. As Michael said, do not be blind and just look at what's happening on one exchange, and look on other exchanges. So as you can see, at the lows right here, you got tons of spot buying, but there was one big player that was waiting around here with 1K plus spot Bitcoin. And this is one guy I was monitoring, and this is a trade I did take. All of those spot limits got filled. You got that instant shake off, and then with, of course, that liquidity grab of the previous low, come back down, fill it, and then from there on, we just went like popping up and up and up and up. Also on this move, I think this was FOMC, we also cleared everyone that were trying to long here and that were going into positions. We did chop them also here, as you can see. All the volume was cleared, the high volume was tapped just at the lows, and from there on, you got that explosion to the upside. What was our also confluence with that limit being absorbed was this POC of the candle with high volume area, as you see here. And again, I did mention this a lot of times that it could be a nice potential day trade, not a bigger swing trade, but you cannot predict this when you are right here. But once you see bigger, massive player coming in, absorbing, and just accumulating, you can maybe let it run just in case if he does have something in plan. And especially once we got to reclaim some levels, then of course you can see the strength in Bitcoin, and from there on, yeah, this was, as I said, additional confluence. We cleared also that high volume area, and from there on, as we all know, Bitcoin really impulsed big time up. There was one resistance I was waiting for, and we all know what these levels are: massive order blocks. And in my eyes, they are always bigger key areas, which we know how to trade them. So once they get broken, especially if they get broken with an impulse, wait for that backtest. And I'll show you just an example of yesterday, same scenario. So we had this big, massive key area I was looking at. And once that got reclaimed, we really had that value area high of this previous range. So basically this area, that was my last resistance where we could reject. We all know once you come back into the value of the previous value area, we know we will see the other side quite quickly. And that we did really quick. I did take here, of course, we are all traders. I did take and try scalp short. Didn't play out, got a small loss. But for that, as I said, I did trade this backtest. As you can see, we got that impulse up. We did that backtest, and this was like clear as day, and everybody yelling at you like, long me, buy me, buy me. From there on, you got that impulse, and as I said, I am a trader. I do take losses. Order flow and everything was hinting that we might get at least one smaller trace. We didn't get it. Of course, that's why we have win rates. Nobody has 100% win rates. I can guarantee you that. You can bring that guy that's claiming to have a 100 win rate. You can bring him. I'll pay him whatever he wants. But those guys don't exist. So we are here all just talking about what really happened, and nobody is like just pronouncing that they are the winners, we are the best, I don't know what. We're all the same traders, and we don't hide when we lose stuff. And that's just something that's on daily routine, weekly routine. Like it is a fact. Trades can be lost.
Part of the game, yeah.
Part of the game. I mean, as I said, give me that guy that's telling you he has a 100% win rate. I guarantee you that's not the case. Okay, let's go on. So we got that nice back test. Last area of resistance was the value area high of the previous range. Once that got broken, I said we'll probably go and take the highs, which I mean was not impossible and was really not logical to reject here and go back. So if we were reclaiming all this resistance and coming back up, there's only one thing to do, like grab the highest liquidity that you have, and that's what we did. At that high, I really wasn't, as I said, once we broke the last resistance, I really wasn't shorting this unless we take the previous high, which we did. We did take a ton of liquidity. Order flow here again. If you were looking at that, you got massive sell orders just waiting. So just the big players taking advantage of all the stop losses from your shorts, from your margin shorts, I don't know what else. breakout longs, breakout buys, just taking all the advantage and selling it to you. And from there on, you got like just that massive drop, instant drop. We did have yesterday the close session where we were dropping here, and again, we did have a massive key area for me, an order block again. And what do we know? If you check out here, I mean, this was pointless to long because it did just break out like an impulse candle, and that's something we want to see when the order blocks are broken. You want to see impulse and then backtest. And I was telling you all that this could be a potentially nice backtest short. And as you can see, we broke down, we backtested it, we backtested like 2, 3, 4 times if you go down on lower time frame, and from there on we did get that rejection and bam. Before yearly open, before the daily open, like 1 hour, I posted also. Maybe I can show it, or no, I will keep this for us. I did show where I would be looking at for potential long scenarios, potential buys or compound of the longs, whatever you were looking at. And I was mentioning this red zone here. And as you can see, like right on daily open with tons of confluences, tons. And we are going over that on the close session. If we break that, what I would be looking for back tests, and so on and so on. And look at this perfection. Like this was massive. I took this long and it was instantly like 5% in half a day. And these things are quite beautiful to see. And also before today, I was giving you a nice liquidation area where we might come back and just tap it before continuing up, and that was in this area. Let me just quickly see this Binance. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, I posted this. So my major area was this liquidation area or the SFP down, which we got some also nice confluences at that time. We did come down, and from there on, we just got it again. This is where I compounded a little bit of my long, and from there on, as you can see, this was just like TA yesterday and today was perfection. Yes. So we also, as you know, we trade a lot. I especially trade a lot of alts, and one I have to brag about is just Flocky. Me and Duki were like in a contest. Yeah, so he was basically in positions with baby Dogecoin. I don't know what that was, and I was in Flocky. So we were like dissing each other who will be firstly listed on Binance, and I was so happy when I woke the other morning and I saw Elon Musk just like shilling Blocky on that picture, and from there on we got a giga bounce. I was mentioning here on the alt sessions that we have every Monday. This order block with this trend line was a nice support area. I did buy here a lot of spot positions, and I think a lot of also our members bought here spot, and from there on, like this was, I don't know what was this, like 7x, 7x in 1 month. Like, this is I'm still holding 10-15% of my back, so not that much, but if you count in that we might get another 10x, that 10%, 15% that I'm still holding can give me back again those profits that I took here. So always good to we here. Another member also yesterday asked me where would you compound your long, and this was here on that 1 hourly order block. And I don't know if these alts are we tapped this like to the dollar today, just a little while ago, and you got instantly 15%. Like this coin is mad insane how much and easy those profits are, and those moves are ginormous. And I really hope once we reclaim this, let me see if we do have something. Yeah, if we do reclaim this and come back up, then I don't see here any resistance, and this could be like instant 18%. Oh, so Flocky, my love, really.
Oh man,
I
you're
don't
an altcoin legend. I love it. When you and PC are doing those altcoin sessions and charting
Yeah.
members' coins, it's amazing what you come up with.
Yeah, well, my bounces, I get like, 30, 40, on the high end 80. And Netso is just the king of trash. And he gets these 600% bounces. And I cannot compare with that dumpster diving. Way better than me.
Dumpster.
No idea how he finds those, but it's crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Man, I love it.
Let me just maybe just give some levels out if someone wants to sculpt. What I was looking at was basically that naked POC that we have at 227. If we do come back down, I do love this area, high volume area, some imbalances. But again, I would take those profits or especially trade it as a scalp trade or as day trade. For the upside, we did have a nice small order block that we just tapped here. So this got a little bit absorbed. Where I would potentially look for scalp is this liquidity grab just here. One maybe quick up and then probably continue down. But and more as I'm looking at the order book, I see tons of limits piling up at those highs on Binance, on Bitfinex, on just random, random, just bigger spot exchanges. They're piling a lot of them. So we do have some fractals on the upside that TraderR posted yesterday, and Younes that posted one fractal. So one is really like bearish without taking the highs, and one is just from TraderR maybe coming back up and taking out the highs again. And this could be another potential trade just if we do something like this and then maybe come up. But if you start really impulsing, I truly I don't see any bigger resistance until we come to this upper consolidation area. Just prefer target maybe front run 30k. But yeah, that's about it from my time. What I can say.
Nice one,
So,
man.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
EC, give it a go.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and transfer it over and see if everyone can take a look at my screen here. Go ahead and pop this up. Oh, for some reason my little window isn't connecting.
Yeah. How many likes do we have in the meantime? Did someone
Let's do
check?
this real quick. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm up. How many likes do we have?
40?
Okay. Well, maybe we can bump that up. Give us a little feedback. You know what? Let's wait a little bit for some feedback and some likes. Let's go back a little bit to last Wednesday. Last time I gave you all a public update was last Wednesday. Here's a scenario I drew out for you guys. As Netso says, no one has a 100% win rate. No one is perfect, but I'm not going to lie with you guys. Been slapping Bitcoin around like Ike Turner, honestly. Getting the rotations. We were short from 24, right at the high, and we took profits right at the low, and I'm going to show you why. Now, the long that I got in, I had to wait for a little bit of confirmation because I did want a hair lower, just like a lot of other people. I wanted a hair lower for my hedge long to try to get a sniper entry, but I was able to get into a confirmed entry. Really wasn't that difficult. We'll go over that in a second. We got the bounce. Again, we're back in our high time frame range. And since we blasted through the range midpoint, it just seemed logical to go back test the range midpoint, as I explained last Wednesday. Now from here, we essentially back tested this consolidation range and made our move up to the top of the range. I'll get into that in just a second. Let's talk about the take profit. So my take profit was literally perfect on this 24K short. I had it at 21,375 on the tether pair. I mean, this is the inefficiency pocket that we've been watching in the lounge. That is to the dollar tap perfection. It doesn't, I mean, that's exactly where I had my take profit. Again, I wanted a little bit of a wick to look for the long. I didn't get it. So what I chose to do instead was after we tapped the low, let me go ahead and throw on my pivots from Mr. Trader R here. It's not showing the previous daily pivots, but we had daily pivots right in this area. After we bounced up, I waited for our price to come down, tapped daily pivots, and then got into a nice long to the upside. Now, after we rode the move up, as I have clearly shown in this chart, and this is the same chart I showed you last Wednesday, this is a channel high. I mean, we get this kind of move up into channel high, I'm going to take a short. Now, I've got a really good short entry. Our members, they know I wouldn't lie about something like this, but if you're joining us on the public side, you guys don't know us that well, I will put my money where my mouth is. I'll put it in the waiting room. This was the entry that I have on Bitcoin, and I've got 25% of my original position left running. Again, I'm looking for the top of, I'm looking just for an SFP of this little channel here. Now from here, there's a couple possibilities, but I want to go over current price action first, local, and then we're going to go towards the possibilities from a higher time frame. So when we got our high, I take a volume pull from high to low, as most of our members know. I did explain why I use this high inside the lounge. Feel free to ask one of our members. I'm sure they can enlighten you. But this is where I determined to be the start of our impulse down. Taking the volume pull, we have held the point of control, 1, 2, 3 taps is support. Now, if the point of control is holding as support, if you've learned our fixed range volume context, you know that a trip to the value area high of the impulse is a likely move. As soon as we got to the value area high of the impulse, first thing I posted for our members, so we got to let them know if this is claimed, there's a likely move to take out the impulse highs. This is our trigger level right now. You got to know what your triggers are. You probably heard me say it. You may not know what that means. You'll learn it over time, but this is the trigger level that I have locally. Because on the flip side, if it holds as resistance, likely chip to range POC, back down to the point of control, which would be a nice deep retrace to our 786 fib. The short that I recommended in the lounge, I would have liked to have sniped something above here with a very close invalidation. Again, knowing that this is our trigger. Our trigger is if this level holds as resistance, we're expecting a move down to the 786. If it gets breached, we're looking for a move to take out the highs. This is our trigger level. So that's what we are currently looking at locally. It's nice and simple. It's nothing terribly complex, something everyone can learn. And I post example after example of when this plays out in real time. I mean, for example, when we got our move up to take out the highs, let's go here from this point of view. We can see originally when we had let's go ahead and adjust our pull because we got to take a look at this back in time. This is the data that we had. So after we made our first high, actually, let's go after this high. Yeah, after we made this high, we got our nice drop down and we had our value area high holding as support. This is when we were live on the FOMC session when we started getting this move up, and you will hear me for 2 straight hours saying, I want the highs to get taken out. Why? Because this blue line was holding. The impulse value area high was holding. So and we had some other reasons, some other technical reasons up here, but we got a great short up here, wrote it down into our plan, take profit, clearing out the inefficiencies. Again, a little late to the long, but hey, better late than never, right? Bounced off our high time frame internal trend line that I made you guys aware of on Wednesday. I would bet dimes to dollars that a lot of you watched that video last Wednesday and didn't put this trend line on your chart. I bet you didn't. I did. I've still had it on here. As a reminder, it's just an internal trend line from the old range. I love internal trend lines because no one really looks out for them. No one really sees them. And if they're not looking for them, it's hard for them to really plan for it. Now this trading view freezing over here. Yeah, it's freezing on this one chart. So let's go over to future scenarios. Future scenarios. What I see from here is really one of two options. Now there's variations to this, obviously. We could have undulations, little rotations, but we have made a full rotation across this range with a slight back test of the midpoint. As I explained on Wednesday, last Wednesday, this move should not be disregarded. It is very, very possible to come down and just rotate across this range. We never back tested this range when we entered it. There is a very logical volume-based reason to come down here and make a big old drop down. But we have our original scenario. The original scenario called for a matching deviation. So a matching deviation, so this is our channel here. We had a slight deviation to the downside going over November and December, part of January. And then, this would obviously be longer in time frame. We want to have a similar length in time, but we would be looking for some kind of a matching deviation, would be the next level up. Looking to trade it around the lower 27Ks, realistically back down to the point of the range, top of the range. If it breaks back in, then we're range bound. If it bounces, then again, we have our previous consolidation area here that Netso just went over. That would be the next level of resistance. Those are the three scenarios that I see. It's either, I've got good triggers for all of them. Again, locally, this is a pretty good trigger because if we take out these impulse highs, we're probably getting back above the range and we're probably getting into the deviation scenario. And ideally, if we head down, then I can see us going to clear out. We do have a pocket of inefficiencies. The same way I gauged this perfect bounce on the drop down is telling me that there's an area we could hit in the mid 18Ks. And just going back for our point of reference, mid 18Ks, we go here, is the bottom of our range. Now you guys see where my scenarios are coming from. They're not random. There is reason and logic and rhythm behind them. Scenario one, we make the clearance, and from there, we got to see if we either, we can make a move out, just a straight bounce, but this would be a heavy take profit zone and look to take a hedge long. If this ends up being a short to hold, we would look to hedge down here along with heavy take profits. It's just how we like to do it as range traders. Scenario number two is the one we went over. The only reason I'm not leaning heavily into this at the moment is because of the way that we came up into the high. Bitcoin doesn't necessarily hold these quick impulses up very well. This is the only one that's really held up. This one came right back down and erased most of the move. This was a very quick move up into the range high. And as I've mentioned before, no one is really looking for a waterfall and bounce from mid 18Ks. They're either looking for the plummet to the bottom of the earth, or they're looking for 30K in the near future. I would love a move to rinse these people out and then maybe even do a deviation. So, merge these plans together. We come down, we back out, we do our deviation, we hang out for a while, and then we re-enter the range. It is an extremely plausible scenario. As a range trader, it's the one I would lean towards. Just because that's, trading the range gives you higher probabilities than trading breakouts. So that is what I would look for locally. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got on Bitcoin. Actually, let's go ahead and update our pull here to get the new high end. Let's take a look at that real quick and adjust accordingly. And you can see that we bounced on this 4-hour to the dollar off this value area high. So while we do have our low time frame trigger to the upside, we are holding our mid time frame trigger right now. So it gets different time frames, different levels, different triggers. It's not simple, but it's simplistic. It's not complicated, but you do have to consider multiple levels from multiple time frames. and realize this is, again, a local trigger. This is a mid-time frame trigger. If this holds, honestly, I got to be looking for the move up to take the highs. It's as simple as that. If it doesn't hold, I would be looking towards a move to the range point of control. And realistically, after this kind of a move, I would like to come down and take out these inefficiencies. But that is what I've got on Bitcoin.
Nice one, man.
Yeah.
Can you switch it over to my screen quickly?
Yeah.
I'll go over some questions. Then there's another question for you. And someone lost Floki, for sure. I would also love it after seeing Netzo's entry and how he traded it. Crazy.
Lucky, my love.
Oh, man.
All right, you are up, Michael.
Awesome. Got a question about waves clusters. So that's nothing I invented. It was basically an observation that I made by looking at a certain reversal chart. I will share the template inside the launch. Basically highlighting high delta clusters and areas. And so far they have given great signs, great support, great resistance, and great areas of trades. So they are showing up here. For example, this was one that I shared inside the launch. I shared a few more earlier, but I will show you a few that got some really nice reactions here. We got this drop down, we got aggressive sells here, and then I marked out this cluster, and you can really nicely see how we came back to the cluster and we got aggressive longs into it, got a nice move to the downside. What was it? Let me see. We got a little less volatility here, but it was still a 4% move. You can also see then when we broke through it, backtested perfectly, SR zone, bam, again, perfectly SR zone, and then we broke it. And then similar here, we got to this drop here. We got aggressive shorts here, got a cluster printed. You can see here also on the first step into the cluster, really nice move to the downside. 10% move, more than 10% move. And then we came up to it again and got another 8% move or something. And while we were up and coming up here, we got another cluster printed here at those highs. And that was the one on the lows where everyone had a really nice chance to re-enter before we pumped. So those clusters are all given inside the launch to our members when they are formed. And similar to today's, we got a really nice reaction from it. You can also see another cluster formed here. We front run it here. Same with the 382 because we are currently in a bullish environment still. And if Bitcoin is going for it, we are front running levels and leaving no one the opportunity to enter. And it was the same here. The cluster that we formed here today earlier was a very small one. So not that important as some of the bigger ones that I showed earlier, but it gave a really nice 2% reaction. And so far we are through it, nearly backtested it. I find them on Atas and I share them inside the launch. So if you would like to get those clusters in advance for some really nice scalp opportunities, join us inside the launch and we'll get access to a lot of setups every day and a lot of live sessions with the pro traders. So nice. Let me see. Another question for PC. Can you please share your inputs on your fixed range? I'm trying to get mine to match yours, but my inputs must be different. Thank you so much. We have an area.
Yeah, I can show you the settings, but if you want to go and show where they are in the settings, in regards to how to pull them, that's the art of it. How to pull them from where to where. There's an art to that, and I have a tutorial video going over about 85-90% of it. The higher time frames, the mid time frames. If you want to nail these rotations on Bitcoin, mid time frame, you can live on the 4-hour charts with volume. But using them on the lower time frames, that'll be the next lesson video we do, breaking it down to the 15, the 5-minute. But I think Michael's got the
Discord app. I'll just
right
quickly to run you through what you can expect. Fixed range volume profiles. That's the one from PC with his settings, so you can get all the pro traders and way more information here inside our Pro Tactics forum. Also, Yuki's daily updates, for example, where we got a lot of action and a lot of information on Bitcoin, whatever is going on locally. And our pro traders have their own channels where you get notifications and different channels for scalps that we're taking, like also here, for example, the waves cluster that I mentioned earlier, and then the scalp short and how it played out. So there's a lot of information here. Great low time frame and high time frame insights. We got two great wave scalpers and traders in here, both swing and lower time frame, covering different assets for our traders inside the launch. But I think that's it from our side today. Let me see if we got some more questions here on YouTube, and then we can answer them or
Pump up
call
the
it
likes.
a weekend.
Pump up the likes.
Yeah, man, my throat's
Say
getting
it like
scratchy.
that, I can imagine you.
You pump up the likes, I can go over maybe an altcoin or two. Otherwise, we'll save it for the altcoin session on Monday, because Netzo and I we've been dropping some gems in there.
Yeah, true, PC.
Aggressive shorts here, more local. Got a nice small pump. Got also some, I think, bullish. Yeah, slightly bullish CFD dips here on the trend ref chart. Definitely to get this little pump here going. If the aggressive shorts here locally, not a trade I would take. We could have taken the backtest of the waves cluster, but we never touched it fully. Let me check again. Now we front run it again. So not a long scalp that I would take, and I would also not advise to long here on the move to the upside unless you're really aggressive scalping. Let me see how it looked on Bybit. Not that bad. One. Basically, every candle that turns white here or every bar that turns white gives you alerts and sends you Telegram alerts. So most of the time you get really nice heads up alerts sent to Telegram or just through the audio with speed of waves here, telling you, attention, there's some aggressive players coming in, some aggressive selling coming in or buying, and you will have or can look for a nice rotation into the other direction. So always really nice. Also here again, you can see aggressive shorts getting an alert, and then we got the nice move to the upside that was initiated earlier this morning. Let me see here how it looked. Yeah, that was yesterday. Where was yesterday's trade? Down here, I think. New York open session. Let me see. Also here, we got a really nice opportunity. Basically, that was the trade we took on New York open session. Aggressive shorts coming in. Oh, it's always messing with zooming. And then basically when we come up to the highs, we get aggressive shorts again and some longs coming in, but definitely at that point to take profit. Then once we see the aggressive shorts here for the reversal. But can I get your autograph, Netzo, on my mouse? Trader R wants some autograph.
Why not, Trader R? I'm
You can
always
have it
glad. You can give me for 1 million. I only accept Flocky coin, so if you can give me 5 million or 1 billion worth of Flocky, then we can talk about an autograph.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's it from our side, guys. Join the launch. We have a free waiting room with updates every week, and also follow our channel here. We are sharing 2 or 3, I think it's 3 public videos now for everyone every week, and hit the bell to get notified once we do for some updates. So mostly if there is some nice CPI or sessions coming in, we will be here for everyone, and we are here for our members 3 times a day with sessions on London Open, New York Open, New York Close on all the major times, with some Elliott Wave swinger session and some altcoin sessions. So we'd love to have you inside the launch, and I think we call it a nice session, and I wish you a nice weekend.
Yeah, and real quick, I'm just going to, right before we head off, I'm going to just give everyone just some levels. Levels to put in your chart. These are my trigger levels. 24,488 is my local one. Claim that for more upside. 23,949. If we hold below it, I would be looking for a move down to at least 20. Below 23K. But those are some levels just to kind of give you some numbers to put on your chart, because that's the most important thing, is just knowing your triggers. And these are my triggers right now. Here and here. And with that,
thank you, man.
We'll go ahead and just remind everyone that everything we discussed today was for educational and entertainment purposes only, and all trades discussed were paper trades. Lots and lots of wonderful paper trades. Appreciate you guys spending your time with us. Could have spent it anywhere on a Friday. You chose to be here, and we appreciate it. So if you're in the lounge, we'll catch you over the weekend, and otherwise we will come at you with some more public videos next week.
Thank you, guys.
Nice one. Have a good
Have a nice
one.
weekend.
Bye-bye.